Hello, welcome to Huggle Therapy. These videos are designed to help with bereavement and grief. Today's episode, we focus on how grief can make you feel. As mentioned in our last video, grief is a natural emotional response to bereavement. Everyone grieves differently, so it's helpful to think of it as more of a process than a one-off event. It's important to allow yourself to feel however you feel with grief, regardless of the circumstances, because pushing those feelings away will only result in them coming back up again until you have dealt with them. In my experience of counselling, I've encountered all age groups who are navigating grief, and the important thing to know is that there's no right or wrong way to grieve. However, sharing your experience and feelings with someone can help you on that journey of acceptance. Grief can make you feel guilty. I've spoken to lots of people who feel guilt after they lose someone, and they may ask questions like, could I have done something to help them? Or could I have had more contact with them? Or they say things like, if I had my time again, I would do something differently. Sad. This is really natural emotion to feel when somebody dies. Frightened. We may not know how life will be without this loved one, and this means a lot of changes. Angry. I found anger very common in grief, especially when someone goes away suddenly. Relieved. Such as if the person we lost was in a lot of pain, we may feel relieved that they are no longer suffering. Tired. This can be because grief can impact our sleep. Numb. It's okay to feel no feelings at all, as this can be due to the shock of the loss. And lonely. This is self-explanatory in many ways, how after losing somebody, you can really be surrounded by lots of people, but somehow still feel alone. Stages of grief. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross originally talked about 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. With denial, you may feel that you're avoiding people, confusion, elation, shock, and fear. Anger means frustration, irritation, and anxiety. Bargaining. This is when we struggle to find meaning and reaching out to others or telling our stories of those lost. Depression. This is not necessarily the same as when somebody is diagnosed with depression, but more so symptoms, albeit temporary, such as being overwhelmed, helplessness, hostility, and avoidance. Acceptance. Exploring options such as what next, putting a new plan in place, such as what will my routine or life look like now? Moving on doesn't mean that you forget those that we grieve, but our way of coping gets strong enough for us to move forward. It's very common to flip between these stages of grief, going backwards and forwards, because this process is not linear and we all grieve differently. Complex grief is when we maybe didn't particularly like the person who died, or when we lose more than one person, or when the person has taken their own life. For example, complex grief attached to suicide can make us feel angry, ashamed, guilty, and confused about why this happened, rejected or numb. In our next episode, we'll be looking at coping with grief. There are plenty of helplines that can help you, and we'll make a list of these at the end of our videos. But if you feel that you would need some support, or maybe you know somebody who would benefit from a therapy session, then you can contact Huggle Pets in the community to inquire about our one-to-one sessions. www.hugglepetsinthecommunity.co.uk. Look after yourself and those around you.